All right, so how do you raise capital when you have zero track record? So I did it. I had zero track record. I didn't know anybody. I didn't have any family, no friends in the space. Actually, all my friends are still in the painting business, which is, I mean, it's great money, but I wanted to move on to bigger things and develop real estate and buy real estate, cash flow, make big equity, and take care of my family. So how does this work? Raising capital, most people think it's super hard to find capital. That is false. We have been printing the most amount of money since my last YouTube video till this YouTube video. There's been more money printed faster than inflation. We can't even fathom it, the amount of money they're just printing. So there's an abundance of capital out there, abundance of money. What is short on is trust. Okay, so now if you just think of a moving stream, okay, of water, if you say you're trying to get water, there's water there, but not all the water is clean. Okay, so you gotta clean the water. Now, how do you clean the water? So I'm gonna tell you guys a process right now. Trust is what you should be focusing on, not where should I get the money or who has my money. That is fine too, because remember guys, it's not the how, but it's the who. Who's got my money, right? Is it Uncle Jimmy? Is it the guy down the street? The problem with that mentality, the who, is that you run out of who's, okay? You only got so many uncles, so many aunties, unless you got a big family, you come from a hood-right family, and that's great. But what I'm trying to say is, you need to be able to manufacture trust from strangers, okay? Strangers, people you don't know, people who don't know you, people who have never heard of you yesterday, an hour ago, and be able to manufacture trust and distribute it at a scale where you're sleeping, you could be at your full-time job, and you can raise capital that way. Okay, now this skill is not just for real estate, because you can raise capital for anything. You can raise capital for a nonprofit. You could raise capital for a school. You could raise capital for a startup. The point is, raising capital is essentially just gaining trust at a massive scale, because you don't want to raise capital $5,000 at a time, $1,000 at a time. No, you want to raise capital from accredited investors, people who have at least $100,000 to $200,000 minimum to invest, and that makes your capital raising a lot faster. So now, how did I raise capital with zero track record? It's kind of crazy to think about. Why would people, so it's kind of like the chicken and egg, right? Where you say, hey, if I raise capital for this project, I would create so much returns for the investors, and I could do the next one and the next one. It'll be so much easier. The problem is, you haven't done the project yet. You haven't completed one, and you're asking strangers for money, and you've never done it before, and you even worse off, you don't even know how to do it. Okay, which is kind of worse. But here are the benefits that you have than the other guy. Number one, because you've never done it before, you will put your life on the line. Well, that's kind of dramatic, but you will do whatever it takes to make sure that the project is successful, right? Number two, you have your entire attention on that project because you're not running 5 other different projects, okay? And number three, the investors have direct access to you because you are a small team, right? It's just you and a chief investment officer, whatever. Maybe it's just you and your wife. Doesn't matter. It's just you guys, or maybe it's just you. But that's a good thing because you can give your full attention to your investors. They will call you and you will pick up in less than 5 minutes, right? Yes, you will. So with that being in mind, what is the actual tactical things that you can take away from this video? How can you actually do it? How do you actually do it? Okay, well, get this video you're watching right now, what is this? This is online. So guys, you have to use the internet. I don't care if you're 45, 75, I don't care if you're 5 years old. You have to use the internet for your advantage. Now get this, if you are scrolling, okay, on TikTok, on Instagram, you are still using social media, but you have to let social media work for you. Okay, now I'm not talking about you need thousands of followers, 10,000, millions of followers. You don't need that. I had, I don't know, like 500 friends on Facebook, and there were half of them were like high school friends. So I'm not talking about being an influencer. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about leveraging video on a massive scale to gain trust with abundance with people online. Okay, now how this mechanically works is you shoot a video ad and you run ads online. Now there are some restrictions to raising money using online ads. Okay, so you guys need to understand there's this thing called Reg D 506C. Okay, Regulation D, Section 506C. I paid a lot of money to learn these. That's a really short phrase. What it is you're using several exemptions to be able to run ads online to raise capital from strangers. Okay, one of which is called the accredited investor exemption, meaning you can run ads online using video as long as it is accredited investors. Now get this, good news, we don't want to raise capital from everyday people, making 30K a year, 50K a year. We don't want their money. Why? Because we can only raise 5K at a time from them, and they're gonna call you every month asking, where's their money? Where's my money? How come the investment hasn't started yet? Where's my money? You want to raise it from accredited investors only. Okay, now once you have a flow of people coming in, because they're watching you now instead of you watching cat videos, right? They're coming to you. So now you gotta convert them. So how does that work? Now there's a lot of ways. You can jump on calls with them one-on-one, build that trust. That is the highest way to gain someone's trust. You just pick up the phone and dial. Number two, you can run one-to-many, which is a webinar. You can run a webinar, and everyone on that webinar, you could talk to 500 people at a time and raise money that way. Okay, so I really like both. You gotta do both, because it is important for you to talk to these investors one-on-one and understand what their appetite is. But also, if you want to scale and do 8-figure, 9-figure projects, you have to do it at a massive scale, which is webinars. Okay, now nobody talks about this. I don't know why. I'm telling you guys, that is the way. So run ads, capture them, run a webinar, and then through that you have to nurture them. Because why? People will not write you a $300,000 check after one phone call. It's just not gonna happen. Well, sometimes it does, but what you have to do is set up sequences, email sequences that update them on your investment opportunity. Okay, so this will look like value add value emails sequences that you drop to them, just updating them about your project. So that is the life cycle. That's how it looks like, guys. Now if you're able to perfect this, you will have so much capital that your bottleneck is now good deals. Now if you think you have too many investors right now, and you're not doing this, I promise you, you don't. Because you're probably just buying $1 to $5 million portfolio when you should be buying a $50 million portfolio and up, okay? Or 10 million, 20, 30, 50 million, because actually, number one, you make a lot more money. You and your investors make a lot more money the bigger the deal is. Why? There is more economies of scale, more efficiencies involved, and you could pass that on to them. So you're actually doing them a favor by going bigger. So you have to go bigger, and you have to scale trust at a massive scale. Now, with that being said, again, you want to be transparent. Now, where this video is, you know, if you don't have a track record, so maybe start with, you know, buying a 15-unit apartment building first for 1.5 mil. Maybe you could start with that first. So if you need 30% down payment, you only need, what is that, half a mil to raise for that deal. So that's not that crazy. That's just two investors with $250 each. Okay, super doable, and you'll be able to do that. So guys, I hope you found this helpful. Again, to raise capital, you gotta capture a lot of people, okay? And then number two, you gotta pitch them, call them, webinar, whatever you gotta do, and then sequence with emails, nurture them, okay? You follow that, that's gonna work. And also, never lie. Never ever lie. If you've never done a deal before, tell them. But again, that's a good thing, okay? So don't lie, tell the truth. And if you like this video, like it, you know what to do.